everything ready. Paulie and I are getting ourselves all kind of balanced and stable and figuring it all out. It can be a challenge.
I don't know about
sometimes.
balanced and stable, but
As good as we can do. How
Yes,
about that?
yes.
That we can't. Beggars can't be choosers,
That's right.
Beggars can't be choosers. All right, let's see what we got here. I have let's do some fun here because sometimes I don't get an opportunity with Facebook and things like that. You post things trying to get people to think because that's really what this is all about, right? The majority of what I'm doing here, whether it's the Wellness Wednesday segment, it's House Call, it is our Healthy Shamrock newsletter. The majority of what we're doing is to get you to question things, to get you to kind of get out there and see your response. And so I put something up the other day. It says the FDA is investigating metformin for possible carcinogens, right? And then we put a tag above it. And the tag says drugs or chemicals. They just are. This isn't surprising. We're good there. Using chemicals to achieve health fails every time. Okay, now the question is, how does everyone interpret this? Using chemicals to achieve health fails every time. Now, why do we say that? What's the purpose behind it? One, get you thinking. That's number one. Get you thinking, get you questioning. And we had some really great responses from people saying, hey, doc, well, I'm not against pharmacology. One person put up there, it says, but, I do this stuff, and what do you do with people who are insulin dependent, right? Because you say it fails every time. Now, the question is, if we go back and we look at the article and we look at what we say, right, using chemicals to achieve health, you can never achieve health chemically. You can't. So even though there's benefits, I'm not saying I'm not anti-medicine. I totally appreciate what the system does, right? So if you're type 1 diabetic and you need insulin, that's great. It doesn't cure your type 1 diabetes. It manages it for the rest of your life. Now, the good news is it helps you manage it. I'm okay with that. No problem. But that's not really health. Health is restoring normal body function where you need no other assistance than what you yourself are able to do. That's health. That's when someone comes in with an autoimmune disorder. And we'll give you an example. They come in with it doesn't matter what autoimmune, pick one. They come in, one side says, hey, we're going to drug this the rest of your life so you can get by. One side says, fix it. Get it gone. Balance the body, get rid of the autoimmune disorder, and all of a sudden, look, that's health. And the reason for this article and why I posted this is because of exactly the response I got out of it. I had a lot of people on both sides of the story. This is really good. Marketing is incredibly powerful. And the people who specialize in marketing understand us better than we understand ourselves. We know emotions are great things to market against. When you sit there and you're out in Las Vegas and someone's selling you a timeshare, right? They're hopping on every emotion you can think of. Man, isn't this great? Don't you love it out here? Don't you love the feeling? Can you imagine having your kids here? Everything you can think of.
those people are good.
And they're ruthless.
Yes.
Ruthless, right? So much so that there's attorney groups now, how to get out of your timeshare, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are not easy to get out of, apparently.
No.
So, and I'm not saying that timeshares are bad. If you're one of those people that love them and you do great with them, there's nothing wrong with that. But the leverage they use against you and the marketing they use against you has been developed and polished and refined over years upon years upon years of doing it. That was the purpose of this article that I posted, is to see where are we in this belief system. Do we believe that by taking our meds the rest of our life, now we're healthy? Do we believe that by taking our blood pressure medicine for the rest of our life, now we're healthy? And that's really the feeling I got out of this. Now, I understand, hey, I got to take this, doc, or my blood pressure will kill me. I'm okay with that. I accept it. I totally get it. But my theory on this and why I did this is because I want people to believe that, look, when you take your blood pressure med or you take your diabetic medication and it lowers your blood sugar, you're not healthy. The second you stop it, bang, it's right back up again. And what we've realized over the past several decades of doing this care is that all of a sudden, it's not enough. Now you're taking your blood pressure med. That one's not working anymore. We'll give you another one. Now you're on 2. Then all of a sudden you're on your statin. Now all of a sudden you're on something for your cholesterol, right? And you're on something for your blood pressure. Now you're on something for digestion because, that one kind of messes with the stomach. And this whole article came about Metformin, which is the darling of type 2 diabetes, which is reversible. It's the darling of that world, and they're saying, hey, you know what? It might cause cancer. But we're using it off market for things like PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. We're using it for that, saying, well, hey, it's great for this. It'll work. But it's not what it was meant for. And somewhere along the way, someone said, hey, look, it has a side effect. It helps with this problem. Does it cure it? No. Does it manage it? Yes. But that was the purpose of this point, was to get you thinking. So number one, I really, really appreciate everybody's input because there's no wrong input. It's just to get you thinking, get you questioning things. Guys, when we start blindly following, we're nothing but sheep. And healthcare is a $4 trillion a year industry. It's so big you can't even conceive those numbers. 4 trillion. It takes up 20% of the gross domestic product in this country. That means it is the single largest business in the United States. Single largest business. And when you look at something like that, you think, okay, it's a business. Don't lose sight of that it is a business. And when you get things that are business, no matter how well-intending your doctor, your nurse practitioner, all the people you know may be, it's very easy when the economics get brought in for things to get skewed. If you want to see an example of this, look at politics. Everyone goes in with great intentions. Once money gets involved, the next thing you know, man, it is skewed. And I don't know anybody other than a politician that would sit here and say, oh, no, it has nothing to do with it. Right? Food for thought, something to think about. Be back in a moment.